Hello, welcome. So in today's video, we're just going to look on how to build beautiful email templates using React Email and Tailwind. Okay, and I want to show you what you're going to build in this video. So if you check here, I'm on localhost 3000 and this is the template we are going to build. So if you look at it, it's looking nice and it is an e-commerce premium template we are going to build, and you can see how amazing it looks. It has nothing like the common ones that are provided by React Email. This is a custom one, and you're going to learn a tons of concept in this video. For instance, we are going to look on how to use the images. You know, this has been a problem, how to load locally the images in React email templates. So just going to see how do you create a template, how do you set it up, and how do you even use a local image. Now, secondly, we're just going to look on how to use custom fonts. You look at how this font is looking amazing and is looking nice. We are going to look at how to embed a font locally in your template, and also just going to look on how to create these beautiful rows and columns in using not any single line of css but only Tailwind. Okay, so if you are happy and you want to join me to build this, let's jump in and build it together. Hello, welcome to this video. So in this video, we are going to look at how to build beautiful custom email templates from scratch using React Email and Tailwind. So let's look at something we are going to build. So at the end of the video, we are going to build something like this. Okay, look at this beautiful template for the e-commerce. And these ones, they use it in marketing. You can send this email out for marketing, and you can see it has not only the images, it has the purchase links, it has the products. Okay, you can even add your own products. It has all these beautiful, and at the end of the day, we will also try to see how we can make it responsive. Okay, but this is so nice, and I'm excited to show you how we can build something like this. Okay, so just going to use React Email plus Tailwind. And probably you know very well that most of the time we have been using normal CSS to build custom email with React Email, but in this video, I'm just going to show you how to use Tailwind. And most people who have used React Email, they know very well that most of them, they have been using the normal templates. Okay, if you have seen in all my videos and even other YouTubers videos, you will see that most of the people, they just simply use this email provided by the React email team. They are nice, but they're just going to take it one more level and build a custom email template from scratch using the React email plus Tailwind. Okay, so let's just dive in and see how to get started. So the first thing I have here is a running Next.js application. Is a just a fresh installed Next.js application. You can just go ahead and create a Next.js application with Typescript and Tailwind. That was the first step that I did, and you can just go ahead and do that. Okay. So second, what I'm just going to do is now setting up React email. So the first thing I'm just going to do is I'm just going to stop my server. So right now I have been having this server running. I'm just going to go ahead and stop this. Okay. Now I'm just going to go ahead to React email, and you can click on docs or get started, and you will be here. The first thing is to install React email. Okay. So here on this, on getting started, you have the automatic setup and the manual setup. Simply click on the manual setup, and then on the manual setup, let's go ahead and install the dependencies. Okay, so this here, the folder, we're just going to create it later, but let's just go ahead and install these dependencies. So install the React email and the React email components. So just go ahead and copy this command and just head to your terminal and just go ahead and install these dependencies. Okay, so the second step is to add the script. So include the following script in your package.json. So let's go ahead and add a script, email Dave. So I'm just going to go here in my package.json. Here, I'm just going to put a comma. Since I already have the Dave, I'm just going to call this one email. And then this, I'm just going to call it, it is email Dave, just like that. Okay, the command, you can give the script any name, but then decide you must put the script email Dave. Okay, as simple as that. Next, let's go ahead and include this email template. So you can say create a new folder called emails and create a file inside called index.ts and add the following code. So just going to create a basic template to start with, so that we can start exploring everything. So let's start, go create email, and instead I'm just going to put index.ts. So just go ahead here in your, so you could just go ahead outside here and create a new folder and call it emails. And then inside the emails, just go ahead and create a new file called index.ts. Okay. And then let's go ahead and put this. And this is supposed to be tsx, not ts. tsx. Just like this. Okay. So we have our sample email, which is just only having a button. Okay, so let's just give this one some few seconds. It will just going to finish installing. Okay, let's just give it a few seconds and let's be moving around meanwhile. So after doing that, the last process is to run this locally on localhost and to open everything. So let's start exploring you can see that step is they have a lot of components. Okay, so just going to use a combination of these components and build our custom. Okay, so those days building really email templates using HTML, HTML and CSS is not that easy. Okay, and React email really simplifies this whole process of building a custom or building an email template. Those days it is not something that can be easy, and I'm planning to build a whole marketing tool out of this. Okay, and if you're excited about that, you can also let me know in the description while we can build together a marketing tool on top of React email and resend. So um you can see they have different components like the HTML, and they explain that, for instance, the component email includes styles where needed. Okay, so we have the head, we have the button, the container. Okay, we have the button, we have the container, and so many other things. Okay, we have the code block. You can include the code block in your templates, and they have even here theming, basically a set of styles, each kind token, blah blah. Here is information on the styles. Okay, code inline, they have a lot, and you're just going to, and the interesting one I want you guys to look at, first, we're just going to get familiar with some of them and the flow of them, how these ones are structured. Okay, so the first one, of course, is the HTML. That is the one that you put on top of everything, followed by the body. So they have the body. Okay, and they have the container, they have the section, okay? And if you just want to look at a simple flow, you can just also go ahead and look at the examples here. Let's go and just take like any of these ones. So if you just click on any of these, you can just go ahead quickly look at the code. And if you just want to see all of them, you see here how they flow. Most of the time, we start with the HTML. Inside the HTML, we put the head. Then after the head, you put the preview. Then after the preview, you go ahead and put the styles. Okay. Then from the styles, we put now the container. So if you want to put, for instance, the max width on something, then after that, you can just go ahead and put the sections. Okay. And that is the flow. Then from the section, you can now put the rows. Then from the rows, you can put the columns. This one follows, I think, the bootstrap. If you remember how we used to do bootstrap, this is how bootstrap used to be really structured. Okay. And I'm just going to show you how to add in Tailwind, and Tailwind comes after the preview. We're just going to look at that. Okay. So if you look at this, and this is how they style. This is how they style. If you want to style anything, you just go ahead and do something like this. Okay, this is how we add the styles. So let's just go ahead and build. So it has finished installing here at React email components. So let me just close this and maybe open it one more time. So right now, after we have installed those dependencies, I'm just going to go ahead and run npm, let's say npm run email, just like this. And the first time you're going to run this is going to go ahead and install necessary dependencies. And let's go ahead and run localhost 3000 one more time. Okay. Let's go ahead and run this. And this time you'll see that we're going to see something different. Okay. Let's just wait and see. Just running this locally. Okay, compiled. Let's go ahead and see, and you can check. So now on localhost 3000, we have welcome to React email. To start developing your emails, you can create a JSX or TSX file under your emails folder. That's great. And if you check, we have here something called index. And if you click on index, okay, let's just go ahead and click on index. And here we are. We have our basic button, and this is our template so far. Okay, so inside this, you can just go ahead and create. Let's create inside emails. This emails folder is actually the place where you add your templates. Okay, so I can just go ahead and add any other file. And let me just go here, create, for instance, test.tsx. And then here you can just say RFC. And let me just say test. And then here I'm just going to go ahead and, for instance, put the HTML. And this HTML, you can just go ahead and say import, for instance, HTML from. So this is HTML from. And you can just get this at React email components. It's supposed to be like that. Just see. And here I'm just wondering, can't find the module at React email components or corresponding type declaration. Something is not right. Let's just go ahead and one more time. Sorry. So you can just go ahead and install, just install this. I don't know why. Just do it one more time. But you can see it actually was already there. Yeah, you can see updates, packages. I don't know why this is behaving like this at React email. I don't know, maybe TSX hasn't loaded it yet. But I'm just going to go ahead and put, for instance, the HTML component. You can see here there is HTML. You can just go ahead and pull up this one. So let me just go and, for instance, put this return, and let's return this. And you can also import the button. Also here, put comma, and you say put button. Okay, and now I can also put some other things. Let me just put, for instance, the text. So you can also go ahead and put the text just like this. We can say this is a paragraph. So in React, in emails, if you want to write a paragraph, that would be text. Okay, you just also get this from a text. And then if you want to write a heading, you can just go ahead and also put a heading. For instance, they have another one called a heading. So you can write a heading, and let's also get this from heading. And then the heading, you can also define heading, and you can pass the as keyword just like this, and you can say as h2, or you can say as h1, and you can say this is h1 paragraph, as simple as that. Okay, let's just go ahead and preview this in the browser. So if you just come here, you see now we have the test. So if you click on test, you can see we have click me here, the button, plus this is a paragraph, and this is h1 h1 heading, not paragraph, h1 heading. Okay, and you can see this is h1. Can just go and refresh here. This is h1 heading. Okay, so basically this is how we put things. Let me just try to close this, maybe reopen the project. I don't know why it is showing some errors. Layout, email. I don't know why this. Do you need to install the types? Can't find a module, email, components, or its corresponding declaration. I'm just going to try to restart this whole project and see maybe if something changes. So I'm restarting the server. Let me close up this, and they just reopen one more time. So I'm just going to go to this, and let me just open this back in VS Code and see if this loads. So we are back here, and this time we are loading it correctly, I guess. Yeah. So let me just go ahead and say npm run dev, not npm run dev, run email. Okay. So you're running email and is generating a preview, and we'll be back here. So just refresh this. Okay. Yeah, so if you also have the same problem, just simply restart the server, reopen the project. Now this one now is loading nicely. Okay, so just go back here and we are on this, and you can also go onto this. Okay, so the first thing, let's go through some of these components and how to style them. So for instance, if you want to style this button, what you would just do, random circumstances, you would use CSS. You could say maybe const, maybe you could just say button, I guess, and you could just come and say here, you write this. For instance, you could just say background. So you can just say background, I guess, color is equal to, background color is equal to, let's just say red. There's just like the background. So if you're just like going to use status here, you can just use status just like this. You can just say background color this. You can just say font size, and you can just go ahead and say maybe 28 pixels, and you can also go ahead and put here a comma. Okay, just like this. So if you want to apply these styles, you can just come to the button here, and what is style, I can just go ahead and remove this. Okay, and you could just go to this style, and you see, for instance, button. Okay, you are applying, for instance, the button styles, and I don't know why again we let's just rename this as just small button. Okay, and let's go ahead and put here just small button. Okay, so now we have style, and we are just directing this to this button, or you could even just say button styles to be specific. Okay, just copy this, and you could just go and paste it here, button styles. Let's go, and this is under index, and let's go and refresh this, and you can see we have this, the red background and the font size, just like this. You could just go ahead and put padding. Okay, now you could also have, like, for instance, color white padding, and let's go ahead and see. Okay, so we have a nice looking button right now. So you can just like go ahead and do this. Okay, so you're not just going to do this because, guys, we just used of writing Tailwind, and we can just like do this now using Tailwind. Okay, so this is how we style normally. So before we go to Tailwind, I just want to show you some of the things. Let's first get familiar ourselves with some of the things. The first thing we have is a button. So you can have a button just like this. And the good thing with a button, it can take also links. So as you can see, this one button, it has href, so it can take up links. However, we also have actually the links. So we could just say go ahead and get a link from the React components as just a normal link. I can just say, for instance, go to Google. Okay, and then here you can just say href. So it takes also href. I can just so go and say https google.com, as simple as this. So you can just also have just a normal link, just like this. You're going to see, so this is a button and this is a link, and they're almost doing exactly the same thing. Okay, so let me just refresh here. You have here a Google link. Okay, so most times when I'm just going to use an styled, like I don't have to add more styles or anything, just simply stick to a link. But if you want something like clickable like this, like big and has like this, we use a button. Now, whenever you go to a component, for instance, if you just go, for instance, to a link, okay, down here they always give you props. Okay, So you can see they have, for instance, href, and they have the string which is required, the link to be triggered when the button is clicked, and then they have this string, and the default is blank. So you don't need to actually add blank. When you click a link, it opens in a new tab, which is great. That is some of the few components. Let's go and look at some other nice components. So you looked at the heading component. Now, another nice component is the font. Okay, is the font. So we can add our own fonts, and we're going to look at how that one is challenging, but it is just as easy as adding this. Okay, just easy as adding this. Just add it anywhere here, font like this. Now, if you just go back, you have, sorry, font is not defined, sorry, or is import it. Okay, so just go one more time, refresh, and okay. So now we have a new font altogether. You can see this is looking amazing. And we're just going to look at how to add our custom fonts and how that one is somehow challenging, but I will show you how to add these fonts. The Another, of course, component I want to show you is the image. Okay, so in the documentation, the image looks like it was well handled, but actually it is somehow tricky. Okay, um, let me show you how to use the image component. So when you look at this, is really nicely done. So you have, for instance, the image, and they tell you to add the image of, for instance, you have here a cat, width and height, and that's it. Okay, so I'm just going to just go here, and let me just add this image of a cat. Okay, let me add this image of a cat. So I'm just going to go down here, add the image of a cat, just add this component here, import image from the React email. Okay, so according to this, the easiest way, or the way you would think about it, is that you just get an image of a cat and drop it in the public folder. So you just do that. I'm just going to go on internet, and let me just get cat, any image of a cat. I love cats, so let me just get like a nice one. Okay. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. How it was feeling right here. Okay. So just get this image. I'm just going to go ahead and save this image. Save image. Okay. Let me just download this, and I'm just going to cut it, drop it in the public folder. So in the public reveal, just like this. Okay, and let's rename it. Okay, let's rename this to a cat. And if you just go back this side, you will just see that we have cat.jpg, exactly just like this, cat.jpg. We have cat with this 3000. Let's go back to our here, and let's refresh. So you can see the image is not showing up. Okay, and really, like, if you just go to the documentation, there is you can just go, they go ahead and they show you the props, and they show you the support, and that's it. They don't actually talk about how to load these images locally on your machine. Okay, so after hustling and suffering for a long, actually just came up to know the technique. So the first thing is that you must create inside the emails. Inside the emails, just right click and create a new folder. Let's create this folder and call it maybe static. Okay. And let me just drop this image of a cat inside the static folder, just like this. So wherever this is, they are referencing everything, they are referencing it from their images folder. Okay. So if we wanted this image of a cat show up, just simply drop it in the images. But it's good just like because you're having templates here, it's just always advisable, or it is a good practice to put all your images, for instance, in a folder. So I would now right now come and say that the image of a cat is inside static and slash cat. Okay, and let's go and check right now and refresh, and the image is nowhere. Okay, so lastly, one thing you have to do is fixing here. So for instance, I will just put like for instance the localhost on this. So if I just come here and I say localhost 3000, let me just go ahead and put this here. Why did I copy? Control C and Control V. Okay, so I have HTTP localhost 3000 stroke static stroke cat, and let's see if this time this works. Okay, so we have now the image of a cat, guys. So this is how you load the images locally from your machine. Okay, you have to add this HTTP localhost, and that's why you see in most of their templates, if you got any of these templates that has images, okay, you will see that they are loading a base URL and they are getting it from the environmental variables. Okay, so we could just go ahead and instead of putting this all the time, we can just go ahead and put this here. For instance, I can say const base URL is equal to, and let me paste this. Of course, it should be in double quotes, and let me just remove this. Okay, now of course if you are very sure you're going to be in static, but let's just leave the static because it can be in any folder. So here I'm just going to remove this, change this into, and let's go ahead and replace this with dollar base URL. First of all, let's remove this, and let's also add this here. Okay, so you have the base URL stroke static, and now we should see exactly the same thing. So go back to the index, refresh. So we still have our image. So this is how you use the image under the hood. And then some other things or others is a preview section. So this one is the one you just send for previewing your text. Okay, it is just always after the you have put the HTML and the head. Okay, so let's look at the tailwind. Okay, so we have here a React component that wraps the Tailwind CSS, and according to how they use it here, they have this um they have this they have this Tailwind as, look at where it is coming from, React email components. So now if you just go ahead and add this, you see they are wrapping around this inside this. You can see they just went ahead. We can just create this as a new component. So I can just come here inside the emails and let's go and create a new one. I can just say tailwind.tsx and let me paste this one. Okay, make sure it is having export default. So you're just going to say export default, maybe email, and let me just go ahead and refresh here. So you see you have Tailwind and you have this button. Actually, this button has been styled using Tailwind. If you just check here, this button was stayed by using Tailwind. Okay, so now we have some nice basics now to start on our project, which is building something like this. Okay, so we know how to load the images, we know how to put these stuff. So one thing maybe I can just show you is putting the columns. Okay, so they have a combination of rows and columns. So you have a row. Okay, so how these ones work, you can just go ahead inside a this, for instance, and I can just say I'm just going to put a row. Okay, and inside of course get this, and then inside the row I can just go ahead and put a column. Why is this not importing? Did it import? Yeah, so inside the row I can just go ahead and put a column. So just go ahead and put column. Okay, also get this column, and then you can just put like, let's say 3 columns, and these columns I can have, for instance, let's put some text. So you can just say text, what is happening, text. Okay, so inside this text, of course, import also the text, and let's go and say this is column 1. Okay, just copy this. This is column 2. Change this to column 2. And then this is column 3. So as simple as that, you can have different columns, refresh, and we have 3 columns. You can see you have column 1, column 2, and column 3. So it is also easy to put the columns. Okay, so let's just now go ahead and start building our template. So I'm just going to create here in this image another file called maybe template, not in caps, template.tsx rfc. So the first thing, of course, is to name this. Let me just, for instance, name this template, and the first component on top is HTML. So add the HTML. From the HTML is you can add the head. Okay, just add the head like that. From the head, we can just go ahead and add the font. Okay, so I always copy the font. So just go ahead and get the font block just like this, and we're going to change this font to something else. So let me just go and copy this font, and you can see they are putting it inside the head. Great, so just get this, and we put the head instead now in this format, and let's get the font. Okay, so we have now our font included inside the head, and after that we can just put now 2 things. One, we can first put the preview. So there is a preview, 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 if I can just get right. So just write preview, and this is the preview of the template. For instance, I can say welcome to beautiful e-commerce template. Okay, and then after this preview we now add the tailwind. So just go ahead and add the tailwind, and now you look at this. When by default from their stuff you import tailwind from, okay, you import tailwind from the React email, but actually they have this coming from, you can just say import, and let's go ahead and say import tailwind Tailwind from. So just import from. So you can just get at React email. So at React email. So here they have components. So instead of components is from React email Tailwind. Actually, they have this React email Tailwind. This is how you get the Tailwind. I guess this is just getting like the Tailwind, though it is really heavy, but I think it is just like giving you the full capacity of Tailwind if you get from here. But you could also get from React components. But when I just like reading so much documentation, I found that they were getting it from here. Okay, and where you want to see where you got this, you could just also go to this Tailwind. Okay, so you see here in the example they got this from Tailwind from React email components. Okay, when you go down reading more further, and they have a Tailwind demo. If you click on this demo, and they give you this example, Vassal invite user, and if you just go to the code, you see they use it import Tailwind, and they have this Tailwind from React email Tailwind, and it's the one they use it. So I'm sticking to that, using it from that side. Okay, so get the Tailwind, import Tailwind from that side. Okay, so now this wraps, if you look at how they use this, they just simply wrap this on entire thing. Okay, so I'm just going to go inside this, and we can put the body. So here you can just go ahead and put now the body, just like that. Okay, so inside the body now, the good thing is that inside the body right now, you could just also go ahead and put the container. Okay, this is the a base structure. So you put the container, and we can also just go ahead and get the container. Okay, you can just go ahead and get the container, and now inside the container you start putting sections. Okay, you can start putting different sections, or you can even just go ahead and put. So for instance, for our case, we are designing this. So if you see in the first, for instance, this logo here, this is a first row, we have a second row, we have the third row. So all these ones, they can be referred as sections, as well as they can be referred as rows. Okay, this is a row, this is a row. So all these ones are different rows. Okay, so we start, for instance, with the logo. Okay, so you can start with the logo, and I'm just going to go get all these. I'm just going to put this template in the description, and it is from the Views Triple email templates. They have really nice templates. I really love them. If you can just go to their website, you see they have a nice a lot of nice templates. So I'm just going to go ahead and get some of these resources. You can just go ahead and download them. I'm just going to go here in some just sample project emails. Let me just go the static. Let me just get some of these things here so that I don't have to download them one more time. So I'm just going to get the neck, just want to get this, the logo, and some of these few products they have here. And let me just go and put them in my project. So email is static, and inside here, just going to add these images. Okay, so just go ahead and also just get these images by right clicking on this, save image. You will have some of those images in your folder. Okay, so now I'm just going to go ahead and start actually building on this. And my battery is here warning, just a second. close this, and let me just first grab my charger. Okay, let's just continue. So right now we're just laying down the structure. Okay, so you can see we have, this is the structure. You have the HTML, then you have the head. Inside the head you have the font. Okay, then after this you have the preview. Then inside the preview you wrap everything with this Tailwind component. So this Tailwind component is the one that's going to help us or allow us style everything in Tailwind. So after this, before this container, we're just going to add a section. Okay, so if you just go back to our template, the one we are building, if you look at it, we have this first phase, which is in this color here. And then if you scroll down, finally the last one is in a black color. Okay, so that means that we have about 2 sections. Okay, so you could just go ahead and now just add another section. So you could just add this one as a section. Okay, section and another section. So we have 2 sections, just like this. Get it from the React components. Then inside here you can now specify the containers, just like so. So this is a good structure right now. Okay, this is a good structure. So you could just go ahead in the first one. Let's go ahead and get this background color. So you could just come here and use this to get the background color. This is the color. If we want, could just make it more dark, I guess. So I could just come to this section and I just give class name, just like this, class name, and I just say bg, and let me specify the color, just say hash, and put the color, just like this, and this one gives the color. I can also just go down, get the color of the second. I can just go here, scroll. Can you first exit this? I can just go scroll to this one, and this one I can just get like a slate. Let's try, for instance, class name. We could try something like can we take say bg slate, and let's say maybe 900. Okay, and to test that this is working, we can just go ahead and put a text. Just go and put like a text here. Let me just say Rorim. Does Rorim work here? Yeah. So just go ahead and get text. And also, so I can just go ahead, copy this, and also to test here, let me just add it in this. And you could just go ahead and give this one a class name of text, maybe white. Okay. And then also this one, let's go ahead and give it the same thing, class name. Maybe just leave this one because I think by default will be text black. So I'm just going to get this, and ours is template. So click on the template. Just click on the template. Let's see if we have 2 sections. Yeah. So you can see we have created 2 sections. The section above and the section down. And look at the container already. It is really nice. So the container is containing it very well. We don't need even to give max width or anything. The container is doing a great job. Okay, so that is a great start. So the first thing just going to work on is, so you could just go to the body. I guess we give it let's see. If we just give class name and I say margin 0, I don't know if this margin is due to this white margin. I'm not sure if it is due to that or that's supposed to be there. Yeah, so it was that margin. So you can just first go to the body and we say margin 0. And this, you can see it takes it really away. I think we could also say padding 0, maybe resetting the styles and padding 0. Let's see. Okay, so we are great. This is a great start. And now let's go and start designing this template. Okay, so the first thing we have is a logo. Okay, so go ahead and get this logo, and you see this logo is clickable, meaning it is inside a link. Okay, so I'm just going to go in the first section. We have different rows, so I'm just going to first go here and add a row. Matter of fact, let me first leave this text. Maybe we'll use it later, but let me just remove it right now. So inside here, I'm just going to put a row. Okay, and then inside this row, I'm just going to put a column. And for now, it is only one. It is only one column because we have just a logo. Okay, so just add this column, and inside this column, let's go ahead and add a link. So I would add a link. Okay, just like this, and then inside this link, I can just put the image. So put the image, and remember it is img from this. So it takes in a source just like this, and the source is going to be static. So this is my logo here. I think this one called vector. Yeah, so this is the logo. Okay, you can just also go ahead and download it. Stroke. So just going to have the base URL. Think, where did we use it? Is it in this? I think in index. I'm just going to copy this base URL just like this, Control C, and let's bring it in our template just on top here. Paste this, and let's go and change the image. So here we have to have something like this. So $base URL, then we have stroke vector static. I think here we have to have static, and then we have vector dot png. Okay, just like this. And then we could just go ahead and give it a width, and we can just say width maybe 100. Okay, and then you can also give it alt, which is logo. And then on the link, we can just go ahead and put href, and you can just say this is maybe slash or whatever you want this one to take. Whichever website you want it to take, you could just take to this. And I don't know if it has also title. You could just also give it like title to be logo. Okay, so now if we just view it, let's first look at this. So far, if you have the image showing up, okay, so you can see the image is here, is showing up here. So one thing I'm just going to first do actually is on this. Okay, I think the size is actually okay. I just want to make the background a little bit darker than this. Okay, so I would just like move this towards the dark side, just like that. I think to make like it coming out very nicely. Just refresh. Yeah, So you can see it looks more nice. Okay. Now let's go ahead, and you can see we can go ahead also put the padding. So you see the section has some padding. So we can just go ahead to this. Okay, for this first one, we can just put on the section. Just going to go ahead and say, for instance, section padding of maybe 6. Okay. Maybe we just want to say padding Y, I guess. Just like stick to all of it. Just to do that. Yeah, so you see it has some padding. The logo, I think that is the slightly the size, maybe slightly bigger. Just give this maybe to be 90, something like 90. And for the column, so to this column, we could just also give a line center. Okay, a line center, and let's now see. Nice. So we have now our logo in the center very nicely. I like it. Okay, so just go ahead, put this another row. So you see there is this row now having three things. Okay, it has products, blog, and contact. Okay, so you could just go ahead and duplicate this row. I'm just going to do this, and now we have another row. Okay, then on this row, it has three columns. So I'm just going to duplicate this into 3, 2, 3, 3 columns, and there are also links. And now this link, this type, it has a text. So inside, I could just go ahead and put product. Then the second one has blog. So this is blog. And then finally contact. Okay, finally contact. And you could just go ahead, let's remove these titles. If you wanted, maybe you could just say contact. I don't know if this is anyways necessary, but you can just go and say blog. And also you could just say product. Okay. So we have this. You could just go and put the actual link, for instance, to products, to blogs. Now this could be just like your website, but for now, I'm just putting this dummy stuff. So this is another row, and this one can be align left, align center, the blog, and contact is align right. As simple as this. Let's go ahead and check, refresh. Okay, so we have these aligned very well. You can look at them. So let's just go ahead. Let's go ahead and add some padding to this row. So I'm just going to give this one a class name, padding Y of 6. And I think that one should be enough. Okay, that's great. So now let's go ahead and give them color. So to these links, I don't know if we should give them white or black. Let's start with white, I guess. Class name. Let's give them text slate, maybe 100. Let me just first look at this before I changed all of them. Yeah, I think this looks great. How about black? So let me just change this to 800. No, let's go with white. Okay. So I'm just going to go here with white. Text slate 100, and just copy this class name to all of them. to this and this, just like that. So we have nicely like this. Now let's go ahead and change the font. So by default right now, they have put for us this font. Okay. They have put for us this font, which is right now using Roboto. So now you may actually think it is easy, but it is not that easy the way you think. So let's go to fonts to Google. I want to use a nice font called Outfit. So you can just go here and get Outfit. So this is the font I want to use, Outfit. Now you just go first remove the font and let's get the font now. And you go here to embed. Okay. So when you go to embed, you realize we have these links. Okay. So if you just go and try to copy this link they give you for CSS, let me just copy this just like this. This has high chances of not working. Let's just go here. You never know actually. Just like this. And let's go refresh. Okay, so now you may think it is working, but actually when you check the font right now, can I check the font? Okay, what font? So if you just come and use this, why is not working? Okay, so here I think it doesn't actually check it, but actually this one is a fallback. If you look at this font is called this one looks like Helvetica or or which one? So you can see here they have in Verdana. So you can see they have this fallback font family Verdana. Okay, that means actual Roboto or this one you are putting here is not working, because if it was working, this is how it looks like. It looks like this. So it is not working. So how do we get this to work? Okay, now I want you to look at the one that was there. You look at the format of the one that was there. This fonts dot gstatic roboto, and they have this ID of the font. Okay, so to get this, after searching for a while and sweating Plasma, I just noticed you can just actually just go to this and you can right click and say go to this font. Okay, so now when you actually go to this font, you actually get this font in terms of this, like where it is hosted. So now this URL is the one we're interested in. Just copy this. So just copy this, copy, and this is not anywhere in the documentation. That's what I was telling you. It is nowhere in the documentation. So just go here and let's change and replace it with this. Now this time you could even just go here, change the font family to outfit. Okay, better even if you don't change here and you are putting this, it will work. But just change here to outfit. Okay, you can see the font is called outfit. Now let's go back, refresh. We should have it now working. Okay, so you can see now nicely we have a nice font that looks really nice in our template. Okay, so let's go ahead building this. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and put this. Okay, so I have a section which has two columns. Okay, so I'm just going to have another section, another row. So scroll down. So this time I have a row which has two rows. I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate this one. So copy this. So below this one, Let me just go here and paste this one. So this row, I'm going to give it a class name with a padding y of 6. Okay, and this one has 2 columns. So just duplicate like this. I have 2 columns. In the first column, it has a badge of white with this heading saying this. So I'm just going to copy this and you just go and look at this. So remove this. We can first leave that link. We'll use it. So let me just go ahead and put h2. So to put heading 2, I'm just going to use the heading component. The heading component. Put this heading and let me just put as, and then you can go and specify it as h2, and let's give it also a class name. So you can just say text maybe 3 Excel for now. And this column has a background. So let me just go to this column and give it bg maybe slate 50. Okay, and let's also give it a padding of maybe 4. I think padding y and bottom is much than the left and right. Let's first see. So in the right, we have this image which is in a link. So let me just go ahead and put this image, exactly this one. So just cut this, copy, and actually it is what we have in this second one. And let's change the image. So the image, we have this one called neck. This one, is it this one anyways? No, I think it is this other one, woman, this one. Okay, let's put this. So in this, I have img static woman dot jpeg, and width, let's give it 100%, just like this, 100%. Maybe they say woman. Let me just remove this title. Do I have to put this title? Just remove it. I have this image right now. Let's just go and see. And in this, we also have this paragraph. Copy this and let's go ahead and put a below this. Let's put a p.py maybe of 2 or 3, and let's paste this text. Then next we have a link which says purchase now and has a color of black. So you could just use this as a link, or we could turn it into a button. Okay, and the button has href. We can remove the title, and inside this now we could put purchase now. Then let's give it some class name. Py of maybe 3, px of 6, and bg, let's say slate maybe 800, text white, and there is no roundness. It's just like that. Okay, so just go right now, refresh. Okay, so look at this. We have this, but then you realize they're supposed to occupy 50-50. Okay, so we could just come to these columns. Okay, so we have this column. Now I'm just going to give this I'm just going to give this a, first of all, I can reduce this padding to 2 for now, and let's say py 2. And let's say width to be a half. Okay, that is 50%. And the same thing to this other one. Let's give this a class name and give this one width of a half. Okay, let's see if this one actually settles it. Refresh. Okay, so you can see this is looking great. Okay, and then the padding is slightly off. Let me just go ahead and put this padding Y in this column. So padding Y maybe 4. I think even px, maybe px of 3. So that like this text is actually not really reaching, just put some space. Yeah, great. So we have a perfect section. You can see saying with this Easter with our jewel. So this is nice. Okay. Okay, this is nice. You could just go ahead and increase the font for this if you want it in 3 lines. You could just go and make it maybe text 5. I think 4. I think I just make it 4. For Excel, yeah, that's good enough. So I like this. So far, we are doing great. Okay, so far we are doing great. So now one thing, if you just look at this, that these ones are not extending to this side. Okay, so one thing we can also just give to the first column, the first row, sorry. Okay, so this first row here, we could give it a class and let's give it a max width. So you could just give it max width of about 2. Let's first try to Excel and we see, because like you see these ones are not actually reaching here on the container, they just somehow inside. Okay, so you could just like reduce those ones. Maybe they just put that's too much. Maybe max width Excel, does this one exist even? So you could just actually just go ahead and specify a number like 300. So here you could just say specify here max width of about maybe 300 pixels actually. Just like this. And let's try 200. Really? What? Okay, which I'm in a wrong one, guys. Why? So just copy this class name, cut this from that. This is a logo. We just want the second one. So this, let's just say max width, uh, max width, and let's try to Excel, or even Excel. And let's check if this changes a little bit. And this is 500. Just try 300. So just say here and say 300 pixels, just like that. And great. So that is maybe so small again. Let's just try 450. Okay. Yeah. So that is looking great. You can just go ahead and give the max width. That looks great. So let's just go ahead and build the next section. So we have these two sections which actually look like opposite. So I'm just going to go here. They have this heading with this and this. So we just have a row with 3 columns. So I'm just going to go here. I already have this, which had 3 columns. Where is it? I had actually this. Okay. So copy this So after this one, I'm just going to add another one with 3. So in the first one, and I'm just going to remove this max width. So in the first one, I have an HR. So they have another component called HR. Then in the second one, I have a heading. So I'm just going to go ahead and get the heading. We could just add the heading that we had put here. Just go ahead and put just a heading of our own. So just put heading, and this could be as maybe h1. I just say as h1, and then we're just going to have this one as, just stick to h2, and this is going to be category, just like that. And let's add a class name. Let's give it text, maybe to Excel, uppercase, and widest tracking. Okay, and has also a color, so you say text brown, which is amber. Just give it like amber something like 500. And then in the last one, we also have HR. Okay, so just come here to this HR, just like this. So let's just go and see, refresh, and we have just only the word category. Okay, so the first one we're just going to do is to what can we do here? So I could just leave it as h2, but this one I make it maybe text Excel, and you could also just make it 3. I don't know. And then in these ones are not showing up, let's give them first of all a class name. So I'm just going to give them width full, and the border, let me just give them border solid. So just say give border solid, and just say border slate, maybe 50. Let's look at this. If this shows up, just scroll down. Yep, it is here. So we just go ahead and give this column, let's give it a width. So for this column, there are 3, so just going to give them a third. So just like this column, give it a class name. Let's go ahead and say width is a third, and then this one category, the same thing, width a third. So just like this, and finally this. And let's go and see if this one makes change. And let me also copy this HR, bring it to this last one, just like this. Save. Let's go and refresh. And yeah, so we have this. And it is too solid. Maybe we could just try. Can we give it height? I know by default it has I don't know, could just, let's just leave it like that, just category with this. Okay, this looks great, and let's just move on to the next. Okay, and this one you could just, I think, give it border slate, maybe, I don't know, like maybe 300. And then I don't know if we could just like reduce, um we could reduce it to something. I'm not sure how we would do that. Can you specify height? Like, let's see. I don't know if this is really worsening it or making it better. So just just leave the height away. And for the color, we could just like leave the color like that. Yeah, you could just leave the maybe white. Just leave it white 15. Slate 15. Okay, so let's move with that. So that row is also done. We move to the next, which is actually this two column. So we already have a two column, this above one. I'm just going to simply duplicate it and make some changes. Okay. Um, and let's just go here. Which one was that? Was it this one? Yeah. So just go and copy this and simply go below this row, paste this another row. So in this, where is the image? So the image is on the left and it is also having a link. So it simply switch up this. So I'm just going to go ahead and switch this, cut this column. Okay. And let's put this column before here and img and width a half, width a half. So the width here is not a half. This one is taking more space. Okay. I think if it is out of 5, this one takes like 3 and this one takes 2. Okay, so I don't know if we have, for instance, out of 5. Does width out of 5 exist? Let me see. Yeah, we can have out of 5. And this one takes 3 out of 5. And then the other one will take simply 2 out of 5. Okay. And in this other one has an image, and this image is for now the neck. No, the ring. I guess, do we have that? Yeah, it's this one. So I'm just going to come here and I say this is rings dot png. Okay, and then I say here rings, and then in the heading, so the heading is rings, I guess. Yeah, and then we can just copy this text here and add it here. We can just add this here. Okay, as simple as that. uh, just like this. Okay, so we're just going to change this. It has no background instead, and it says Explorer. So just change this to Explorer instead. And instead of BG slate, this one is going to be border. border slate, and let's say put here border, and the padding everything remains. Text changes to slate 800, and then maybe BG white. Is it a BG white? Let me just see. Yeah. So just go ahead and refresh. Let's see. Okay, so we have this. Okay. So the border is not showing up because we don't have border solid. So just say border solid, solid. Just like this, and this one is border. And one thing is that we can just like reduce on these paddings. So for instance, this column of the rings, it doesn't need to have this padding. Why? Okay, and also this one can have padding 2 or even padding 1. Okay, just to refresh rings, and then this one doesn't have also to be having this. We could just make this one text 3, and let's see. And this one we can also just increase to just put its text, and just say text is m, and let's go ahead and do that. Okay, nice. So we have this looking really nice. Explore more. So I'm just going to go ahead here, explore more. Okay. So also one thing you can notice that you can actually put components. You can create, for instance, components out of these. If you wanted, you could just go and say maybe a 2 column or something, or like this button. You can just go ahead and create just a component for this button, and it's okay. But I just feel like the button already has, it's just like itself is just a component. We pass the link and the class names. Okay, so next you could just like duplicate this and change a little bit of things. And this is going to be the second last section. We are about to finish. Just duplicate this, and we're just going to switch up the images. So switch up the images, just copy this, cut this, and go to this one. And by the way, you see like this align doesn't matter so long as you give this the width. Could just say for instance left, and this one right. Okay, then I think the spacings remain the same. Let's just go and see, refresh, and let's just change this to rings or something. Okay, yeah, you can see. So we just change this to another one, necklaces. Just copy this text. Okay, so I'm just going to go here and change this to neck places, and add this text, and then here just go and explore more. Then let's change this one to the neck. So this one is neck. Here I have it as neck.png. Okay, so just go ahead and let's refresh. So we have this. Okay, so now And are they capital letters? I think the headings are in capital letters. Yes. Okay, so I'm just going to go here. Just go to these headings and you could just go here and add uppercase, and in that case we could just also make it to Excel. The same thing in the previous section, I guess. This one, make it to Excel and uppercase. Okay. They just go and refresh. Okay. And you could just go ahead also you add this tracking, and just also on this is add tracking widest. So this one you just add to make sure you just like spaced very well since it is in capital letters. Yeah, so you can just see now it is looking more nice. Okay, so finally you could just go ahead and get this. Is going to be the last section. I'm just going to work on these other ones. Just going to work on this and maybe the contact section, the last section, this one down here. So I'm just going to work on these three. So you can see it is A3. I can just go ahead, get these images, the pendant, download this, and I can just rename this to pendant. So just go here. Just going to rename this to pendant. Pendant. And let me just get another one. This is earring. Save. So just this one, just make it earring. And finally, we have certificate. Just like this, certificate. Okay, so just get this to my folder. Just select them. Just like this, cut. Go to static, reveal, and add this. Okay, now let's just go and here one more time, create a row with 3 columns this time. So just duplicate this. Okay, leave the padding. Now just go and add one more column, and all the columns just going to have, we have this. I'm just going to duplicate the one which has an image. Okay, so just have this, and you can just say just duplicate 2 3. Okay, so we have now 3. So the first thing you see that they share the same, so this one is going to be 1 out of 3, 1 out of 3, and then this one is going to be 1 out of 3, and finally this one also is going to be 1 out of 3. Okay, 1 out of 3, and this one just say center, and the other one, let's give this one left. Okay, so in the first one, you first see that the image is in, you can say the image is inside this. Okay, so the image is clearly inside a link. So if you just go here, these ones are not in the link. Okay, so those are headings, and then we have this. So I'm just going to copy this heading. So you could just, after the image down here, let's go ahead and put, sorry, the heading, and maybe just say this as maybe h4, and they just add pendants. You could just go ahead and put this text. Okay, text like this, sorry, inside the text. And let's get our link. We already have this link done here. Yes, just going to repeat it, and yeah, has py1 text sm. So this one has a class of py1 text sm. Then we follow with this here explorer. Okay, and we're just going to do this for all of them. In fact, just go and copy the things inside, duplicate them all over. So just go here, Control C. So replace with this link here. And finally, in the third column, with this link here. Okay, they just change. So the second one has earrings, and then the last one certificate. So this one should be earrings, and the last one is certificate. Certificates, just like that. Let's first look at how they look right now. So scroll down. Okay, so we have these three now. So the first thing you notice is that they have a background color of white. So all the columns have a background color of white. I even get confused now. We have so many columns. Necklaces. So we have another row here. So here, let's just give BG white. And we could also just give, I think, APX, maybe let's just say APX of 2. So go to this one, BG white, PX of 2, or padding right instead. Padding right, padding right. And then let's do this. The last one should also have BG white. I don't think it needs a padding. Okay. Just like this. Okay. So maybe instead of padding, how about margin? Does margin right work? Let's just say margin right, because like they have to be separate. No, so the margin doesn't actually work. Okay, so what I can just say is we might just not need to give um so using padding. Margin does not work. It's padding which can work. Mm-hmm. Let me just see. Mm, let's first also change the images and make them look the same. Uh, so I think we can just create this. Mm, what can we give to these columns? First, let me first change the images as I'm thinking. So here, the first one is pendant. So we have pendants, pendant.png, and then you could just write like pendant, and let's give this one a class name of uppercase. Okay, and the same thing is just copy this. Let's change the image for the second column to earrings. So here is ear ring, ear ring. Yeah, it is a very terrible spelling, but it's the one we have this side. Okay, and then this, let's give it a class name. And then finally, we have the certificates, give this a class name, and let's change this to certificate. Okay, let's go and reload so that we have the right images. So the last one is not reading, probably spelling. Certificate. Oh, I can just like go here and copy this instead of hassling with the spelling. Even this one, I have a certificate. That is the spelling I used. Did okay. So we have that. Now what we want is to separate these columns. So how am I going to separate that? Like, does the columns take gap or row take gap? Oh, something like which would be easy if the row could take a gap. Let me see. Like, really, gap is not there on these stuff. And it would be really weird if I did space, for instance, space X. Like for these new ones, they don't really work. Yeah, that's what I'm for sure. These new tailwind, they don't work. That is for sure. I'm wondering if you use it. Even Flex does not work. It's really modern. Yeah, if you just even if you just give break gap, maybe three. I don't think Flex is supported. Yeah. Yeah, some of these, I think they also mention it in the documentation that it doesn't work. So I think the play around we can just do this is, let me just think about it. So if you think about it, is that if you don't give this a BG white, okay, if you don't give this one a BG white, padding would have worked. because padding leaves just like some sort of like a space. Okay, you can select now there is this space here. So you first do that. Remove this bg white from this, bg white from them, bg white, and bg white. Okay, so let's just now save. Okay, so we have them like this. So now it would be this thing below this that we need to give the background. So what would be weird if we gave, let me just test with one. What would be weird is we could just get these two here, we combine them, but in what? Can we put them in a section? That would be so weird. I think I have no choice. Let's just try to see if this can just be in a section. I don't have any other stuff. I just know that I can put this. And so I just specify on this BG white. Let's just see if this play around can work. It definitely does. Okay. Now, basically what I've just seen is actually even this button should be inside it, just like this. So just come and put this here, save, and we are good. Okay, we are good. So just put some padding onto this. Or in fact, we could just like put text. We could just, I think, put text center. Would that one work? Text center. This one would push everything to the center, right? Yep. And then maybe add some little padding on the bottom. Okay. So I could just like put this actually onto this and just add padding to the bottom, PB maybe of 2. Okay. Padding bottom. Yep. That looks great. So just do the same to these ones. Okay. And speaking of which, I wanted to show you that, by the way, we could also do the mapping. Okay. Since we have done one, okay, let me just go and I show you that we can actually map. So I'm just going to remain with one. Okay, and this is just like for purpose of showing you that this one works, like you can do mapping and blah blah, just in case you have your data coming from the database or somewhere. So for instance, say const products, okay, and just create here. And of course this one is type safe. So right now let me just start with this, the name of the product. For instance, we have 3 names. We have pendants, earrings, and certificates. We have pendants, pendants. There is no price. In fact, what is there is the href. Just for this, like, and then we have the image. Now, according to our image, okay, according to our image, we suggest be using the suffix. So let me just go to my image. So far, this is it. So we could just simply specify this. Okay, we just simply specify this, the path, just like that. Just going to copy this. Okay. Just image, just like this, and just say image URL should be better. Image. So you have the name, and then finally you have description. So just say description. Okay. Description, and this is just copy this, some of this text, and let's add description here. And we could also just go ahead and generate the types. So this one is named this as title, and you could just say here, just say types. You could also import this, I guess, from outside. So you say type product props is equal to, so we have title, is it title? We have title href, image URL, title, just remove this. We have this as href, we have description, and the image URL. So all these ones are strings. You could also add the ID if you just wanted, maybe it's number or string, whatever. So if you just create a number, then here is a number, just leave it as a number here. Okay, and you could just come and annotate this here, I guess, like this. Okay, and now we can duplicate 2, 3. So you have 3, ID 2. So the second one is earrings. Just see earrings. That the spelling of earrings. Why do I write this wrong spelling of earrings? href. Then this one is, it is better you copy this URL than messing it up. So we have these rings, the pendants. Where are the pendants? Okay, the first one, this is a category. The first one was rings, earrings. Pendants. Where am I? Must be in the wrong section. Okay, this is the right one. So we have the first one was pendant, static pendant. Okay. The first one was static pendant. This. So now the second one is earrings. We are done with that. Then finally we have the certificate. So just go at the end. Okay. Here we have the certificate, just like this, with our wrong spellings. So just finally just go here and they say certificates, and then here just put this. Okay, so we have them, all of them right now. Let's go and map. So you could just come here. I'm just going to use the last one, which has the everything done the way we want. This one. So I'm just going to go cut this, and then go and remove all other columns, these ones. Okay, so just go ahead and say, for instance, products dot map, and then we have a product. And then we have this return. Okay, just like this. And I think you need also a key to be maybe product dot ID. Then we have the href, which is just like product dot href. Then for this, you just need to put dollar product dot image URL, and then you have this, which is going to be product dot title, and then finally you have this, which is product dot description. Okay, great. The link, also here there is a link, so just go here, which is product dot href. Okay, so we have this. Let's see the mapping. Refresh, scroll down, and great. So we have this one having a long image. So for the earrings, we have a long image. Let's go ahead and look for the right image. It was pendant. Let me see this. Earring, so it's supposed to have this one. Earring.png. What did I put? I put rings, I guess. Yeah. So this is supposed to be earring.png. Just go and refresh. Okay. And now we don't have the gap, so just put padding as usual. So to this column, inside the map, just put here a padding right of 2. That should be enough. Add some space. Scroll down to this. Now we have a nice spacing. Okay, very nice, guys. I love it. So finally, just go ahead and create this final section. You can just go ahead and now practice on these ones. Really, just go ahead and also do this as you practice. There is no logic in this. Okay, I've shown you all the hard logic. Now you can just go ahead and do this. Okay, and for the video, I don't think they support the video yet. You could just put like an image of a thumbnail leading to a video. Just going to put this opening hours and then the contact. Okay, if you wanted to put also this logo, you could. I'm not going to put it, but I'm just going to put opening hours and this one. So basically I have 2 columns. So after this, I just enter this new section. Okay, so let me just cut this first. So I'm just going to have a row. This row is going to have 2 columns. So just have column. Okay, just 2 times. And inside these columns, I have the first column, which has the heading. So I'm just going to go ahead and add a heading. Okay, and then also we have the text. So the first one has opening hours. Okay, so just go ahead and put this opening hours, and just opening hours. Then we have this Monday to Friday 8 to 10, Monday to Friday. Let me see. Monday to Friday, 8 to 10. Okay, Monday to Friday. Monday to Friday. This is 8:00 a.m. to 10 p.m. Was that a p.m.? Yeah. And we could just like do this 3 times, I guess. Saturday. So we have Saturday, Sunday, Saturday. Here, just put Sat. That is like 9 to 8. So this is going to be 9 to 8. And then let me just put this one down. Okay, and then the second last, Sunday closed, the national holidays also closed. National holidays. National holidays. So after this, we have Sunday. So Sunday closed. Just put here Sunday closed. And finally, we have national holidays closed. That is in the left column. And you could also just give this a line left. Just go in the second one. I think we have almost the similar text where they are just links. So you could just also go ahead and put the icons. You're just going to get the icons anyways. So just go and put these 2 links. Okay. Just give a link and just put a case a telephone number. Okay. Duplicate this and let's put the email. For instance, okay. Mm, just like this, maybe, and then this. So just go ahead and put href. Okay, just go and put this. We could just say tail. I think it's tail. Then you add the phone number, just something like this. And then for the email, you just say href, and then you can just say mail too. So just put this. Here you say mail to. I think just like mail to, and then you put this. Okay. So these now they'll be nice. And finally, you can just put these icons and also divide them. I'm not going to put them. I'm just going to review. Just go ahead and also put these icons. Okay, and let's just go ahead and see so far what we have down here. Okay, the other one doesn't have the heading. Let's just go ahead and also put the heading to the other one. So this, and you say as maybe h6. This time let's try h6 and see. Put this also the heading the other side. This side. just one heading, and let's just stick to color. I don't know if I just give the entire row color, does it work? Class text white. I just need this to propagate, maybe. Yeah. Okay, so that's great. And these texts have this weird paragraph on them, like padding on them. You just give class name, just so they have this text white. Can I just say first of all text SM, and then let's also say padding 0. I don't know if that's the padding. They really look like they have a lot of padding on them. Let me just see this. That is the Mandy. It looks like by default text has SM, padding, margin 0, and let's also give I could also give what? Maybe the line height, which is leading. I don't know if this has any way it can help with the spacing. I don't know if this is working or not. You could just like transform this to all these texts. Just Control D, paste here. Sorry. Just make sure you're copying the right thing here. And let's just go Control D, and then let's check. Yeah. So for sure it works, but then that is really much. Now what is working? Is it leading or it is padding? Let me just go ahead and first remove leading. Yeah, so I think this one looks much better. Then now this we need to balance. So this side and this, they are not side by side. I could just go here and put a row on this and then put 2 columns. So put column here, 2 of them, and let's go ahead and put these links in each of the column, just like this. So you have 2 columns. Okay, are they supposed to be in a column or just like they're just in a row? Wait and I see. Oh, it's just like down. We could just put them inside a text, I guess. So if I just make this to be text, this to be text. Let's just see. Not this one, just this one. Yep, with a lot of gap. So just go ahead and add the same thing we added on the other ones. Copy this class I'm just going to only add the underline plus, sorry, class name, and let's add here underline, and the same thing here, plus underline. Okay, let's just go ahead and see. Okay, then the color. So the color, you know very well that you just need to add this. The links have that they cannot change from the parent. Just you need to add this on the actual links. So class name text white. There it will work. So I don't know why the color property doesn't propagate most of the times actually. And so let's go and see. And this section, does this section has a padding? Let's add this section some padding y of 8. Okay, so refresh. Okay, now we could just go ahead and add the icons. Let me just go ahead and get the icons, guys, so that we just finish this. So the good thing, the icons are there, so I'm just going to save these icons. Facebook, save this. Instagram, and finally the YouTube. Jesus. Then you're supposed to right click. Okay, so I have the 4 icons. I'm just going to rename them. I could just first go cut, and let me just go add them in this reveal, and you could just go and create another one here, icons, new folder, and you just say icons. Okay, maybe you could just move it out of this static. Yes, anyways, put this inside these ones. So just put all these icons. Okay, so we have Facebook. I'm just going to rename them FB. And what is shortcut on just this one, Insta? Uh, Sorry, I just want to rename this Twitter. Finally, YouTube. YT. Okay, so I have all these icons inside there. Now let's go and put these icons. So basically, it will be a link. So just copy this link. So under this row, I'm just going to add another row. In fact, I will just duplicate this row. I'll just come here. Where is this row from? Where? This. Okay. Yes, create here down below this. Let's create another Let's create a row. Then inside this row, let's have a column. Okay. Let's have a column and 4 columns. Inside this column, let's have a link. Okay, just like that. And then inside this link, let's have an image. So just going to add image. And in this image, let's just say src. And this is going to be base URL as usual. So dollar base URL and slash static slash icons slash, for instance, the first one is fb, I guess, .png. Yeah, so fb.png. Okay, and then let's give them width. So since they are icons, let's give them like 30 pixels. So I'm just going to look at that. We just give them link text white, even if we don't put anything. So this one, it could be just slash fb, like whatever you want. You just put anything, the link you want. I'm just going to go ahead and check out this. Just to refresh. Okay, so we have this. This is nice. I'm just going to reduce a little bit to maybe to 25. And then I'm just going to give this a padding. So class name, let's give a padding y of maybe 3. And let me just duplicate, not this column, but this link. So we have this. So we have Instagram. So we have FB, Insta. So we have Insta. And then we have Twitter and YouTube. So this one is going to be Twitter. And then finally YouTube. YT, save, and let's go ahead and check. Look at this, guys. This is really amazing. Okay, this is amazing. I like this. Let's change this to contact. I guess it was contact us. It was contact us. The heading to this one is contact us. Opening hours, and then this one is contact us. Contact us. Of course, you could just give it just like uppercase class uppercase. Okay, nice. Okay, so this is great. Now what I'm not sure is the responsiveness. Let's just see if you just click on this. Okay, if you click on mobile, you said everything breaks. Okay, now for these columns, I'm just going to first try and see if, for instance, the way we had given these ones like width, what happens if we try to apply like the responsiveness of let me see here, for instance, like where we have the map. Where did we map? Somewhere we mapped. I think it's down here. So here we have, for instance, a column occupying this. So what if I just say this is SM or this is MD, and I try to say by default this is going to be width for. So I'm not sure if these responsive breakpoints they work. And you can see Tailwind, to use responsive styles, you must have the head element as a direct child of Tailwind component. I don't know what that means. To use responsive styles, you must have. Can I search this error on the internet? Someone might just like ever heard of this. Um, so what I know is that you have to wrap the entire HTML tag in the Tailwind element to make the breakpoint work. Okay. So instead of putting it, they just move it outside. I didn't know that. So you can see we are getting together these things. So instead, I'm just going to go here, wrap this whole thing in a tailwind. Just like this. And then means like this second one we need to remove it. Which one? This one. So just go to the body, cut this and remove this. Okay, let's go and see if our error goes. That's the most important. To refresh, please. Oh no, so it is not going anywhere. Maybe this helps. It didn't help. This fixes the original. If you have a question you want it, this would be also an addition to the documentation, blah blah. What I noticed is, so someone said this fixes the original FMLA warning. Put Tailwind at the top, or the top layer did not fix for me. Tailwind needed to be directly above the head, but underneath the initial HTML. Above the head, count me amongst the confused. The Tailwind component requires a child. So does it wrap both the head and the body? I try to work, but just what? And it seems to have no. So for now, what I just say recommend, I'm just going to go back to the part before that. Tailwind, this part here. Okay, so we could just, I don't know if we could handle the responsiveness other way. Okay, but for now, let's just going to just refresh. For now, if you could just rate the normal CSS, and do we still have the problem? We are back to the original one. Maybe even the other one had worked because it is still showing the same error. Okay. Can I restart the server? Just say Control C and just restart again. And we could just also try, oh, it's just because I'm still having this responsive on it. Where is it? On the map. It is here. So let me just remove this for now. Okay, refresh. So guys, just need someone to help us with this. Okay, I think I'm just going to keep on working to get this done, but so far so good. This looks great. I love it, and you can see all the code that we have written. You can see it here. Okay, so I will put the link to this repo. You guys, you can just like work on this repo. If you propose to add responsive, you contribute to the project so that you add the responsive. I'll be really grateful. Okay, but otherwise this looks great, and thank you for watching. I will see you in another video.